It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update, as AEW champion Kenny Omega could be considering retirement, All Elite Wrestling expect to sign Aleister Black, and WWE want to re-sign Samoa Joe. All that and more coming up in today's video, but first... Last week on AEW Dynamite, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky challenged Darby Allin to a tag team match, but with one rule. His partner couldn't be the Icon's Sting. The duo claimed Darby was nothing without Sting and told him to find a new ally. This week on Dynamite, Darby revealed his mystery partner, and from what I saw, not many predicted what happened. Darby insisted on fighting the battle alone under handicap rules and requested that the Stinger would stay at home and not get involved. The match is now set for next week on Friday Night Dynamite. Elsewhere on last night's show, Cody Rhodes made his much-hyped special announcement, revealing a new member of the Nightmare family. During Friday's Dynamite, it was announced that Brock Anderson, the son of Arn Anderson, will make his AEW debut in a tag team match alongside Cody Rhodes, as the pair team up to face QT Marshall and Aaron Solo. We reported earlier in the year that Brock had been training to become a wrestler, and it seems his training is somewhat complete. For me though, this appearance is surprisingly early, and he would perhaps be better off not making his wrestling debut on national TV. But either way, we will see how his development is going next week. AEW have announced 4 back-to-back special editions of Dynamite to mark their return to the road, starting on the 7th of July, as a run of shows that will be billed as the Welcome Back Tour. The first show will be named AEW Dynamite Road Rager and airs live from Miami, Florida at the James L. Knight Center. Fighter Fest then returns and will once again be a 2-night event, with Night 1 being held on Wednesday 14th of July at the HEB Center in Cedar Park, Texas. Night 2 will then be held the next week on July 21st in Garland, Texas at the Curtis Culwell Center, and finally Fight for the Fallen will be live from Charlotte, North Carolina at the Bojangles Coliseum. It looks like AEW are looking to kick off their return to a touring schedule with a bang, and I have a feeling that these shows are going to be solid, especially since many of the fans will be attending a big show for the first time since the start of the pandemic, and the crowd are sure to be hyped. One match has been announced for the Road Rager, which will be the first show of the tour, with Cody Rhodes set to take on QT Marshall in a strap match. Will you be attending any of these shows? Let me know in the comments down below. On a recent news video, we discussed a shocking GCW debut as Matt Cardona, formerly known as Zack Ryder, attacked Nick Gage whilst dressed in black clothes and a mask, initially mimicking Gage's foe Jon Moxley before revealing himself to the crowd. This drew huge heat and a fantastic heel reaction for Cardona, who walked out giving the crowd a middle finger. The two are now set to go to battle at GCW's homecoming event on July 24th, as Nick Gage will defend his GCW World Heavyweight title against Matt Cardona in Atlantic City. This follows a confrontation that took place during a live podcast in Baltimore that was hosted by Cardona. Gage interrupted the recording looking for Cardona, but was eventually taken away by security. Eric Bischoff recently appeared on the Kurt Angle show and discussed whether he would be willing to take up a full-time role in wrestling again, whether that be as a manager or as an on-screen character. While Eric has appeared sporadically on WWE and AEW TV over the past year or so, he ruled out any major run, confirming it's now time to move on. He said, "It's hard to describe. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. It's just interesting because I think for the last 6 months or year of my life, maybe a little longer, I've finally gone, you know what, that's in my rearview mirror. And I'm going to be really honest with you here, I've never had this conversation on a podcast with anybody. Even though I've been out of the business as a full-time person, when was the last time I was full-time? Maybe 6 or 7 years ago in 2014. I dabbled a little bit, I do a little thing here and a little thing there, still very interested in the business. Doing my podcast, which keeps me connected to the industry. For the last year and a half, you know what? If somebody called me today and said, here's this huge check, I want you to come in and do this for the first time in 30 or however many years, I wouldn't do it, because it's that time to mentally and emotionally walk away. Bischoff currently co-hosts the 83 Weeks podcast and was recently inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame during WrestleMania 37 weekend. With AEW and NXT bringing in legends to be managers, such as Jake Roberts as the manager of Lance Archer or Ted DiBiase looking to become the manager of LA Knight or potentially Cameron Grimes, Bischoff would seemingly be a natural fit in that role, but it seems that won't be happening at this point. It's time for 3 Braun Strowman appearance fee stories in 3 days, as PW Insider have hit back at claims from Strowman, claiming that he hasn't been in contact with promoters where he was said to have quoted a 5-figure sum for his services. The source for the original report from PW Insider now reports that Strowman's manager Nick Gage has quoted $20,000 to $25,000 for a 3-hour appearance. This has been quoted to multiple independent promoters who have reached out with the interest of booking him. Booking Strowman will also see promoters having to fork out for first-class airfare, a 2-night hotel stay, plus all meals and ground transportation. Perhaps Braun hasn't spoken to anyone directly, but discussions have certainly been had between various wrestling companies and his manager. The former Universal Champion will be available to work from August 31st and onwards, which by the way is a Tuesday, and the day after that will be a Wednesday, and you know what that could mean. Kenny Omega has been a busy man of late as he continues to defend his AEW World, Impact World, and AAA Mega Championships. According to the Wrestling Observer, who are close to many within AEW, including Omega himself, are reporting that he has been hurting pretty bad as of late. In addition to a stomach virus from this past week, Omega is suffering from a deep bone bruise near his tailbone, an athletic hernia, and normal wear and tear on his knees. Kenny is said to be in a lot of pain while working through his matches. Not only that, but during the recent Double or Nothing pay-per-view, Omega sliced his hand when delivering a belt shot to Pac, which led to him needing 7 stitches to close the wound. At the Double or Nothing Fan Fest, Omega noted that there are days when he wakes up and thinks it could soon be time to retire and hang up his boots. Omega has 3 big title defenses coming up, as he defends his Impact World title against Moose this Saturday, which is on Fight, and make sure you use our link in the description if you'll be watching. He defends his AEW World title against Jungle Boy on June 26th, and is set to main event AAA's Triple Mania against Andrade in August, putting his mega title on the line. It may soon be time for the belt collector to take some time away to heal up, as to prevent any further injuries. And quickly before we continue, make sure you scroll down and hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos as we head towards 20,000 subscribers. But now you've done that, let's get on with the video. The former Aleister Black, now going by the name of Tommy End, is arguably the hottest free agent on the market right now, with all the talent to reach the top of any promotion. It seems there could be a battle for his services, as AEW has shown strong interest in bringing him into the company. According to the Wrestling Observer, there is a quote, strong belief that Tommy End will be heading to AEW after August 31st, when his non-compete clause expires. As I mentioned, August 31st is a Tuesday, and Dynamite will be on the next night. This follows our report yesterday that many within WWE are pushing for Aleister Black to be re-signed, with many in the company feeling that it was a mistake to let him go. Black has been complimentary of WWE since his departure, expressing his gratitude to many within the company, so it seems that it could go either way at this point. Signing with AEW does however have the New Japan appeal, with him being able to work there at the same time. Black told Renee Paquette on her podcast that a move to New Japan would be phenomenal, and spoke of his love for not only the promotion but the country itself. It seems AEW and WWE could end up in a bidding war over the next 2 months. And speaking of released WWE wrestlers returning, Samoa Joe has been a free agent since April 15th, with fans speculating on his future, with AEW or Impact said to be his likely destinations. Impact have gone as far as to tease him for their upcoming Slammiversary pay-per-view next month, although saying that, they've teased every other recently released WWE wrestler too. Fightful Select are now reporting that there is interest within NXT to bring Samoa Joe back into the company to make a return to the gold brand. Various NXT wrestlers and staff say that they have heard officials have been interested in Joe, and this is said to have come from multiple sources from within the company. Joe made his WWE start in NXT, debuting on a pay-per-appearance deal at first before signing with the promotion officially, going on to become the NXT champion twice. Despite his main roster run never reaching the heights that it should have, Triple H is clearly a fan and pushed him to the moon when he had him on his show. Although there is no word on an official offer, many in the company feel that the return will happen. And before you go, make sure you check out my video where I discuss 10 cancelled AEW plans we never got to see.